Chosen ones. Why people stare at you and say nothing your face is. There is a reason people look at you and suddenly fall silent. There is a reason their eyes linger, yet their lips refuse to move. It is not random, and it is not in your imagination. Your face carries something deeper than ordinary beauty or simple expression. It carries a quiet light that exposes truth, and not everyone feels comfortable standing in that light. Type Amen if you believe. When they stare, they are reacting to the peace that rests on you. They are sensing the strength that God has placed inside your spirit. Even when you say nothing, your presence speaks. Your eyes reflect a story of survival, faith, and divine protection. People feel it before they understand it. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Some of them are drawn to you because your face carries kindness that feels rare in this world. Others feel uneasy because that same kindness reveals what they try to hide within themselves. The Lord has shaped you through trials, through tears, and through long nights when you thought no one saw your pain. Heaven saw every moment. That is why your face now carries quiet authority. If this touches your heart, take a moment to like this video and let your faith shine boldly today. There is a softness in you that comes from walking closely with Jesus. It is not loud. It does not demand attention, yet it commands respect. When people stare and say nothing, it is often because they are trying to understand why you seem different. You do not blend into darkness because the love of God has marked you. Your face reveals endurance. It shows that you have been tested and refined. You have known disappointment, but you did not allow bitterness to settle in your heart. Instead, you chose forgiveness. That choice changed you. It shaped the lines of your expression and the calm in your gaze. Some stare because they see courage. They sense that you are not easily shaken anymore. The storms that once frightened you have strengthened you. God walked with you through valleys that others would have run from. Now your face carries the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are never alone. There are people who cannot speak when they look at you because your presence reminds them of the faith they once had. It reminds them of prayers they stopped praying and dreams they buried. Your life has become a living reflection of hope. Even when you are unaware, you are pointing others back toward the love of Christ. Your face also carries compassion. You understand pain because you have lived through it. When you look at someone, they feel seen. They feel understood. That can be overwhelming for people who are used to hiding behind masks. In your gaze, their masks begin to fall away. The Lord has written His faithfulness across your story. It shows in your patience. It shows in your restraint. It shows in the way you choose peace over conflict. People notice this, even if they never say it out loud. At times, the silence from others may feel confusing. You may wonder why conversations stop when you approach. You may sense a shift in the atmosphere and not understand it. But remember this truth. Light changes a room without asking permission. Your presence carries that kind of light. Not everyone knows how to respond to someone who walks in grace. Some admire you quietly, some feel challenged. Some feel inspired but cannot admit it. Their silence is not always rejection. Sometimes it is reflection. Jesus has been shaping you from the inside out. He has been healing wounds you thought would never close. He has been restoring confidence that was once broken. As He restores you, your outer expression changes. Peace settles in your features. Strength settles in your posture. You do not need to chase attention or approval. What God has placed on your life speaks for itself. When people stare, it is often because they recognize something valuable. They may not have the words to explain it. They simply feel it. There is a glow that comes from knowing you are loved by your Creator. That love removes fear from your expression. It replaces anxiety with calm assurance. It replaces insecurity with quiet dignity. Others can sense that security. Your face tells a story of redemption. It tells a story of someone who was almost broken but was lifted by divine hands. It tells a story of faith that refused to die. That story is powerful. Some stare because they feel drawn toward the peace you carry. They may be fighting battles inside that no one else can see. When they look at you, they see the possibility of freedom. They see what healing might look like. Chosen ones often stand out without trying. It is not about perfection. It is about transformation. The Lord has transformed your heart, and that transformation shines through your eyes. You are not meant to shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You are meant to walk gently but confidently in the identity God has given you. Let them stare. Let them wonder. Let them see the reflection of divine love resting on your life. Your face is a testimony. It carries the imprint of grace. It carries the strength of someone who trusts in God, even when circumstances are uncertain. That trust changes everything. In the quiet moments, remember that you are seen by heaven first. Long before anyone else noticed you, God chose you. Long before anyone stared, He was shaping you. And long after the world falls silent, His love will continue to surround you. Deep within your brain lies a small area connected to wealth and achievement, once buried in restricted studies and classified files. This newly uncovered frequency is helping people replace financial strain with ease, and God has guided you to see this message right now. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. There are moments when you walk into a place and feel the air shift. Conversations soften, eyes turn toward you, then quickly away. No one explains it, yet you sense it deeply. This is not something you created, it is something God formed within you over time. Chosen ones often carry a presence that unsettles the ordinary patterns of the world. It is not because you are louder, smarter, or more powerful than anyone else. It is because your heart has been shaped by surrender. When a person truly surrenders to God, their spirit becomes aligned with peace. That alignment changes how they stand, how they look, and how they are felt. Type yes to affirm. Some people stare at you because they sense clarity in your eyes. You are no longer searching for approval the way you once did. You are no longer desperate for validation from people who cannot define your worth. That freedom shows on your face. It relaxes your expression. It steadies your gaze. Others feel exposed when they look at you. It is not that you judge them. In fact, your heart has grown softer over the years. But when someone stands firmly in faith, it creates contrast. Darkness becomes more aware of light. Confusion becomes more aware of certainty. People who are unsure of themselves sometimes struggle to look directly at someone who knows who they are in Christ. Your face carries acceptance. You have learned to accept your past without letting it control your future. You have accepted the lessons that pain taught you. You have accepted that God's timing is wiser than your own. This acceptance brings calmness. That calmness draws attention. There was a time when your expression may have been guarded. Life forced you to build walls. Disappointments taught you to protect your heart. But the love of Jesus slowly broke those walls down. He healed places inside you that no one else could reach. As healing entered your heart, gentleness returned to your features. Now when people stare, they often see resilience. They see someone who has walked through fire and did not turn to ashes. They see someone who has been misunderstood but chose to remain kind. They see someone who faced betrayal but refused to become bitter. Chosen ones are refined quietly. The process is not public. It happens in prayer, It happens in silent tears. It happens in lonely seasons where God is doing deep work beneath the surface. When that work begins to show, it appears as maturity and wisdom in your expression. There are individuals who cannot look away because they feel safe around you. Safety is rare. A face that reflects patience and grace feels like shelter. Even if they never say it, they are comforted by your presence. They sense that you would not harm them with harsh words or cruel intentions. At the same time, there are others who feel unsettled. They may try to figure you out. They may wonder what gives you such steady composure. They may question why you do not react the way they expect. Your silence in certain moments speaks louder than arguments. You have learned to pause before responding. You have learned to pray before acting. That discipline shapes your demeanor. It removes impulsiveness and replaces it with thoughtful strength. People notice that difference. Type 777 if you trust Jesus. Trusting Jesus changes how you carry yourself. It removes the constant need to defend your identity. It allows you to rest in the truth that God is your protector. When you know you are protected, you stop striving. That restful confidence is visible. Your face reflects hope. Not shallow hope, but deep-rooted hope that has survived disappointment. You have experienced delays. You have experienced closed doors. Yet you kept believing that God was working behind the scenes. That belief carved perseverance into your character. When others stare, they are often responding to that perseverance. They may be struggling with their own doubts. When they see someone who remains faithful, it stirs something inside them. Sometimes it inspires them. Sometimes it challenges them. Chosen ones also carry discernment. Your eyes have learned to read situations calmly. You can sense when something is not right without needing loud confirmation. That awareness makes your gaze more intentional. People feel seen in a deeper way. You do not stare to intimidate. You look at others with understanding, yet that understanding can feel intense to someone who is used to hiding. Your presence gently confronts falsehood without speaking a word. There is also joy resting in you now. It may not be loud laughter all the time, but it is steady. It is the joy that comes from knowing you are held by God. It is the joy that survives hard days. That quiet joy softens your entire expression. Your journey has not been easy. You have questioned yourself in the past. You have felt overlooked. You have wondered why certain people treated you unfairly. But in those very seasons, God was strengthening you. He was teaching you to rely on Him instead of human approval. He was teaching you to see yourself through His eyes. When you finally embraced that truth, something shifted inside you. That shift is what people notice now. Some stare because they recognize leadership in you. Leadership does not always mean standing on a stage. It can mean being the calmest person in a chaotic room. It can mean being the one others quietly follow because your decisions are guided by wisdom. You have learned to choose peace over pride. That choice shapes your face. It removes harshness and replaces it with balanced strength. People are drawn to balanced strength because it feels steady and reliable. There are moments when you may feel lonely because of this difference. Being set apart can create distance. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will walk at the same pace spiritually. But remember that being chosen was never meant to make you arrogant. It was meant to make you compassionate. The Lord has entrusted you with influence. Even if it feels small, it matters. The way you treat others matters. The way you respond under pressure matters. Every action reinforces the quiet testimony written across your face. A 7-second brainwave technique, once reserved for select groups and hidden in classified files, has now been released to the public and many describe it as the 3-0-second miracle. Experts say it awakens a dormant brain center linked to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it's taken down again from the internet. When people stare and say nothing, do not let insecurity rise. Instead, let gratitude rise. Let it remind you that God's work in you is visible. Let it remind you that transformation cannot be hidden forever. You are not responsible for how others interpret your light. You are responsible for keeping your heart aligned with Christ. As long as you remain rooted in Him, your presence will continue to reflect grace. Your face is not just a physical feature. It is a canvas where faith has been painted through years of surrender. It is a reflection of prayers whispered in the dark. It is a reminder that God does not waste pain. Walk gently, but walk boldly. Continue to grow. Continue to love. Continue to trust. The stairs will come and go, but your identity remains secure. There is another reason people stare at you and struggle to speak. Your face carries history. It carries chapters that were written in silence. It carries the weight of battles that almost broke you, yet did not. Even when you are simply standing still, there is depth behind your eyes that tells a story without words. Chosen ones are often marked by growth that cannot be faked. Growth leaves traces. It softens pride. It strengthens patience. It removes the frantic need to be understood. When someone looks at you, they sense that you have already walked through storms that they are still trying to survive. That realization can quiet a person. It can make them pause. It can make them measure their words more carefully. You are no longer easily shaken, and people feel that stability. Stability commands attention without demanding it. There was a time when you might have felt invisible. You may have wondered if anyone truly saw your heart. You gave love when it was not returned. You offered kindness when it was not appreciated. In those seasons, God was not ignoring you. He was strengthening your inner foundation. Now, your face reflects someone who has learned to stand alone with God and still feel complete. That completeness changes how others respond to you. Some admire it silently, some envy it quietly. Some are inspired by it deeply. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. Walking by faith shapes your expression in subtle ways. It removes constant worry from your forehead. It replaces tension with trust. Even when challenges come, you do not panic the way you once did. That calm presence feels powerful. There are people who stare because they sense wisdom in you. Not loud knowledge, but quiet understanding. You listen more than you speak. You observe before reacting. That patience gives your face a thoughtful depth that is rare in a hurried world. When someone sees that depth, they may not know how to respond. They may expect you to engage in gossip or negativity. Instead, you remain steady. You do not entertain chaos. You do not fuel drama. That restraint is noticeable. Chosen ones often reflect mercy. You have been forgiven much, and you know it. Because of that, you extend grace easily. Your eyes do not carry constant judgment. They carry empathy. People who are carrying guilt feel it when you look at them. Sometimes they cannot hold your gaze for long. It is not because you are harsh. It is because your kindness confronts their inner struggles. It reminds them that change is possible. It reminds them that they do not have to stay stuck. There is also a quiet authority resting on you. Authority that does not shout. Authority that does not control. It comes from alignment with God's will. When you are aligned with Him, your presence naturally carries weight. You do not need to prove yourself anymore. You have stopped competing for recognition. You have stopped trying to fit into spaces that shrink your spirit. That confidence in your identity shapes the way you carry your face. Type 222 to claim miracles. Miracles are not always loud events. Sometimes the miracle is the transformation of your heart. The miracle is the way anger turned into compassion. The miracle is the way fear turned into faith. That inner miracle is visible in your expression. People who stare may also be trying to understand why they feel comforted around you. You radiate safety because you are rooted in God's love. When someone feels safe, they relax, they lower their guard. They begin to open up. Your journey has carved humility into you. You know that without God, you would not be where you are today. That awareness keeps your spirit gentle. It keeps your eyes warm instead of cold. There were seasons when you questioned your worth. You may have compared yourself to others. You may have felt overlooked. Yet, through every comparison, God was teaching you to see yourself through His eyes. When you finally accepted that you are chosen and loved, your face changed. It became lighter. It became more open. It reflected assurance instead of doubt. People notice assurance. Some stare because they sense leadership rising in you. Not forced leadership, but natural influence. Others watch how you respond to difficulty. They watch how you treat those who cannot offer you anything in return. Your consistency speaks. A little-known 7-second morning practice once kept within CIA documents is making its way back into public view, and people are already reporting fast financial shifts. It takes only seconds to complete, yet it stimulates a dormant wealth center in the brain that most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now to check it out before it's gone. Chosen ones also carry emotional maturity. You no longer react to every opinion. You no longer chase every opportunity that shines. You discern. You wait. You pray. That steady rhythm of living gives your face a grounded presence. Grounded people stand out in a restless world. When everyone else is rushing, someone who walks calmly draws attention. When everyone else is anxious, someone who trusts God stands apart. There are also those who stare because they feel drawn toward the peace that rests on you. They may not even share your faith fully, yet they sense something different. That difference is the presence of Christ shaping your life. You have learned to forgive quickly. That choice protects your heart from becoming hardened. It keeps your eyes clear. Bitterness clouds a person's expression. Forgiveness brightens it. Your face now reflects hope that has survived heartbreak. It reflects strength that has survived loss. It reflects joy that has survived disappointment. That combination is powerful. You may not always understand the silent reactions of others, but you do not need to. Your responsibility is to remain faithful, to continue loving, to continue trusting. God is still shaping you. He is still refining you. The stairs are not the final destination. They are simply signs that transformation is visible. There will be days when you feel misunderstood, days when the silence from others feels heavy. In those moments, remember that Jesus was also misunderstood. He carried light into dark spaces. Not everyone welcomed that light, yet he continued in love. He continued in purpose. You are called to do the same, not by force, but by example. Your face is a reflection of inner renewal. It is a reminder that God can take broken pieces and create strength. It is evidence that faith produces fruit over time. Let people stare. Let them wonder. Let them observe your growth. As long as your heart stays anchored in Christ, your presence will continue to speak louder than words. You are chosen not to intimidate, but to illuminate. You are chosen not to dominate, but to demonstrate grace. The silence of others does not define you. The love of God does. There is also a spiritual depth that rests on you now, and that depth cannot be hidden. People stare because they sense something eternal in your expression. They feel that you are not living only for temporary applause or short victories. Your eyes reveal that your heart is anchored in something far greater than the opinions around you. Chosen ones often grow in silence before they shine in public. The growth is quiet. The lessons are personal. The prayers are whispered when no one else is listening. Over time, that hidden relationship with God begins to shape the outer life. It softens your reactions. It strengthens your character. It steadies your steps. When someone looks at you, they are seeing the result of years of unseen refinement. They are seeing a person who has wrestled with doubt and chosen faith. They are seeing someone who has faced rejection and still decided to love. That kind of maturity does not need to speak loudly. It is felt immediately. There are individuals who stare because your calm presence challenges their restlessness. They may be used to chaos. They may thrive on noise and constant movement. When they encounter someone who carries inner stillness, it feels unfamiliar. That unfamiliar feeling causes them to pause. Your stillness is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is confidence that does not need to shout. It is the quiet assurance that God is in control even when situations are uncertain. That assurance reflects clearly in your face. Type 1919 to receive miracles. Miracles are not only events that change circumstances. Sometimes the greatest miracle is becoming a new person. You have become more patient. You have become more compassionate. You have become more aware of God's hand guiding you. This transformation is visible. People stare because they sense authenticity. You are no longer pretending to be someone else. You are not performing for approval. You are comfortable in the identity God has given you. Authenticity attracts attention because it is rare. There was a time when you may have tried to blend in. You may have dimmed your light to avoid criticism. But as you grew in faith, you realized that hiding your true self only delayed your purpose. Now you stand naturally in who you are. Some people stare because they are studying you. They are watching how you respond to pressure. They are observing how you handle misunderstanding. They want to see if your peace is real or temporary. Over time, your consistency answers their silent questions. Consistency builds credibility. When you remain kind in difficult situations, it surprises people. When you refuse to join negativity, it confuses them. When you choose forgiveness instead of revenge, it challenges them. Your face carries gentleness that comes from understanding pain. You do not rush to judge because you remember what it felt like to struggle. That memory keeps your heart tender. Tender hearts create compassionate expressions. Chosen ones also develop boundaries. You have learned to protect your peace without becoming cold. You know when to step back. You know when to remain silent. That balance between love and wisdom shapes your demeanor. There are moments when someone looks at you and feels convicted without a word being spoken. It is not that you are accusing them. It is that your life reflects a standard of integrity. Integrity shines quietly. You have decided to live honestly. You have decided to align your actions with your beliefs. That alignment removes inner conflict. It gives your face clarity. People sense clarity. Type 1010 if you agree. Agreement with truth brings freedom. Freedom brings lightness. When you are no longer bound by fear of opinions, your expression becomes relaxed. That relaxation stands out in a world filled with tension. What if wealth was never about luck, but about a hidden brain signal that remained buried in classified files? This powerful frequency is now unlocking doors, drawing in new opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract prosperity in ways they never thought possible. Click the link in the description and comments now, and switch on the money-attracting brainwave today. Some stare because they feel drawn toward your hope. Hope is powerful. It is stronger than despair. It whispers that tomorrow can be better. When others see hope alive in you, it awakens something in them. Your journey has also taught you gratitude. You appreciate small blessings. You notice quiet moments. Gratitude softens your eyes. It removes entitlement and replaces it with thankfulness. There were nights when you cried in private. There were mornings when you forced yourself to keep going. God was shaping endurance within you. Now endurance shows in the way you carry yourself. Chosen ones often look different because they have survived battles that changed them forever. You have learned lessons that cannot be taught in comfort. You have developed strength that cannot be borrowed from others. Some people stare because they sense calling on your life. They may not understand it clearly, but they feel that you are meant for something meaningful.